It's Thursday night in Texoma and fall break in Oklahoma, the perfect storm for Sooner State High School football. It's our middle of the season 1st and 10 special where we're exclusively north of the Red River. We're blessed this week 7 with some of the biggest games of the year, none bigger than the one up in Ardmore. The Tigers and Lawton MacArthur Highlanders always seem to be fighting for something. Tonight it could be 2 home playoff games and a district title. One thing for sure on the line, a perfect record as they have matching 6-0 marks. The Ardmore Crazies getting all painted up as it's been 9 years since Ardmore's beaten their rival to the west. That's when Bengals tight end Jermaine Gresham was running around Noble Stadium. The Tigers on the board first tonight. Clay Atwood with the give to Kedrick Knox, and Knox finds his way into the end zone virtually untouched. Extra point makes it 7-0 home team. They'd add to the lead later in the first. Atwood to Knox again. How good is this Knox fella? He gets through the pile and into the end zone for his second TD of the night as they're up 14 now. Highlanders down but not out. Will Collins, one of the state's top quarterbacks, zips one over to Lorenzo West, and West goes south all the way down the field for the first score of the game for Lawton Mac. They lead it later, 15-14. Less than a minute left in the half. It is Atwood under center again, and he gives to O.J. Walker, and the speedy Walker gets in for 6. I am pumped to say this. Ardmore wins for the first time since 05, 27-22. They are 7-0. Caton's Jessica Maury got to see it all firsthand. She now joins us live to relive it.
Thanks so much, Chase. Well, what a scene it is here at Noble Stadium in Ardmore. The Tigers just beat Lawton Mac for the first time since 2005. They get the win here tonight, 27-22. I'm joined by junior quarterback Clay Atwood. Clay, just talk to me how great it is. You guys are 7-0.
There's not a greater feeling. Great way to win a game, be 7-0, because most teams aren't right now.
How great is it to beat a team that you've never beaten and you know that this school has never beaten in 9-10 years?
We knew going into the game we wanted to beat them at their best, not at their worst, and we took care of business, took care of the ball, and our defense played lights out tonight.
And you guys had the momentum going into the half with that touchdown from O.J. Mayo. Talk to me, O.J. Walker. That would be crazy if it was O.J. Mayo. Very impressive. So O.J. Walker got the touchdown. Talk to me about how important it was to have that momentum going into the half.
Momentum swings it's a roller coaster ride every play, every down. We were up 14-0, have that momentum, then they took it back. It was a big deal taking it back at halftime going into the second half.
Just talk to me how great the defense played tonight.
Lights out. Forcing turnovers late. That was the keys to the game. Win the turnover battle.
All right, well, congratulations, Clay, and congratulations to the Ardmore Tigers. They win here tonight, 27-22. So I've got a question for the fans and the players behind me. Who just beat Lawton MacArthur for the first time since 2005? Am I clear?
Rock on, Ardmore. The Durant Lions pulling off their first W of the year last week with a 40-point win in Tulsa. Tonight they welcome one of the top teams in their class. Number 10, Shawnee, making the trip down to Durant, taking on the Lions at Paul Laird Field. Up 7-6, the Wolves are driving, but the Durant D is going to step up here in the third quarter. John Jacobs with the pressure. He can't go anywhere. That's Blake Whittington and Carl Lotta finishing him off. Shade Franklin up the gut here. He gets a handful of yards, but finally a Pride of Lions drags him to the ground. And a bad snap on the goal line. Jacobs. Evan Armour there to lay the hit, although Shawnee maintains possession. They wouldn't score, though, on the drive. Durant's O couldn't get anything going, though, here. This is about it. Jacob Bradford up the middle. He trucks a couple defenders, but Shawnee too much, winning at Paul Laird Field 28-6. The Caddo Bruins back on their home turf as district play is kicking up. They have Waletka. Colton Ledford here, the quarterback on the keeper. The offense just not doing much early as a posse of Outlaws is there on the stop. Their offense would later take over. This is Charles Marshall running the option play. Good read from him to Caleb Farrow. The big senior makes an appearance in your living room. And the Outlaws are at the goal line. Caddo's D, though, they're hanging in tough. Goal to gain for the Outlaws, but Patrick Joynes says not so fast. It is Waletka, though, getting the win tonight, 58-34. Don't go anywhere because still ahead on tonight's 1st and 10, we're heading to Norris Field where Class 4A's number 3 Ada Cougars take on number 9 Tuttle and the Dixon Comets. They host Lone Grove tonight, a rivalry and district throwdown in D-Town. Cool. The Ada Cougars haven't lost a game since early September. That was against Ardmore. Since they've been dominant as they vaulted to a number 3 ranking in Class 4A. Tonight a lot could be on the line at their Norris Field as they welcome number 9 Tuttle to town. A win could mean 2 home playoff games for them and a district title. A loss may mess that up. Cougars wasting no time. Levi Grimes taking the opening kick, and he's going to get Ada on the board within the first 15 seconds. Check out Grimes finding a seam. Great blocking out front. Levi Grimes, reservation for 6. That's all they'd get, though, as they missed the extra point. Next possession for the Cougars would be a great one as well. They would go with some trickery from Matt Weber's club. It helps when you have Trice Prince, the reverse to the wide receiver. Someone cover the quarterback. Corey Kilby, all 6-7 of them making the grab. The 2-point conversion's good, 14-0 home team. We'd have a shootout, though, for a while in the first. Tuttle would answer with 2 scores of their own. This one comes from Jet Jobe, the senior QB, as he pounds his way through and in for 6. But Ada, they're just too good this year. Kilby with a monster game. Shiloh Windsor with a more monster one, if you will. He is gone here off to the races. This is one of 3 touchdowns for him to go with his 244 yards rushing. Ada, they win again tonight in dominating fashion, 49-29. The Lone Grove Longhorns found themselves in a tie last week after the weather called their homecoming battle against Bethany at 21-21 late in the game. It wasn't district play, though, so it really wouldn't matter. Tonight they resume play in District 3A4 in Dixon, and the Comets are looking for their first district win of the season on their home turf. Lots of flags running out. It's a cool scene there. Jeremy Turner's boys, though, starting out hot per usual. Here's Garrett Lemons finding guess who. Catch 22 in the flats. Jeremy Lewis doing his thing, breaking a few tackles, and he is off to the races for a Longhorn touchdown. Hook 'em. 7-0 visitors. More later from the junior, showing his strength here as he pushes his way through for the extra yardage to help preserve a scoring drive. 4th down and 5. Why not go for it? Lemons to Adonis McGee. Look at the move from McGee as he turns on the Jets, and he's gone for 6. The Horns improve to 2-0 in district play with the 44-6 win. The Plainview Indians, fresh off their first district dub, returning home to face Comanche, up 13-0 here and looking for more. Kobe Brewster under center, and he is going deep. Steven Roberts, there he is coming back, getting the ball, spinning away from the defense, staying on his feet. He gets in for 6 more points to make it 19-0 home team. They later get the ball back and look for some more points with the option play, but hold on. Caleb Gordon, he picks it off, and he is heading the other way. Brewster able to chase him down, bring him down, but Comanche would get themselves inside the 5-yard line, and they'd end the shutout as they'd cash it in. Brandon Verhoeven on this play punching one in. Plainview, though, they're just dominating. 53-16. Congratulations to the Indians. Don't go anywhere because still ahead on the 1st and 10. The Davis Wolves looking for win number 22 in a row as they'd host Hugo and the Kingston Redskins. 4 wins away from a perfect regular season. Could they stay on track against Atoka? The Kingston Redskins are off to their hottest start in recent memory, although they still haven't gotten any love in the polls. They're still outside of the top 10. They'll keep doing what they're doing, though. Tonight's matchup, Atoka. The Wampus Cats are sour after their rivalry loss to Colgate last week. Kingston looking to improve to 7-0. First drive here, they're scoring. Cody Flesher, the big fella, takes the option play in for 6. Extra point is good. 7-0 Kingston. More coming later, this time from the quarterback. Noah Hodges on the keeper. He will lower his shoulder and flip into the end zone to make it 14-0 early. Atoka able to move the ball a bit. Jalen Harris, he's quite the quarterback. He goes upstairs for Bobby Johnson. Can you say Dez Bryant? What a grab from Johnson, but they later turned it over on downs, and Kingston would capitalize. Hodges to his right, feels the pressure, pump fake, and then he puts just enough on it to get it to Peyton Hayes. Hayes is taking this one to the house for 69 yards. Kingston 7-0 with a 46-7 win. Same district in Davis, the Wolves on a 21-game winning streak hosting Hugo at Wolf Field. This one well in hand in the second quarter at 41-0. Hugo giving it back to him for more. Mitchell Scott, the return man, heads left, back right. Finally, he'd get corralled by some Buffalo, but they would have a great spot to start their drive. Their drive, though, would stall a bit. They're used to scoring touchdowns, but here they'd be forced to kick a field goal. Dalton Wyckoff, the man for the job, his kick, wide left. That gives Hugo a shot to try to cut into what looks like an insurmountable deficit. John Jones, the senior QB, looks like the man for the job. He's looking for a spark here in play action. Colton Purdue, oh, no good. Braden Tracy swooping in for the coverage. That ends the threat heading into the half. Davis, you've won 22 in a row. 55-14 the win tonight. Down in Marietta, same district. Indians hosting the Tishomingo Indians. One team will get their first district win of the year. Here's Tish getting their first crack at it. Zach Floyd finds Wesley Hurst. Hurst into space, but eventually finds a sideline. First and goal for the visitors. A few plays later, it's Floyd, this time finding his senior wideout, KJ Atkinson. Atkinson's in for the score. How about it? Tish taking an early lead. Marietta would be down, but not out. Here's the answer. Robert Riley to Braxton Davis, and the junior pushes the pile into pay dirt, tying us up. Marietta, you get the win tonight, 57-21. When we come back, we're going back to Noble Stadium, where Jessica Morey will wrap up Week 7 in Oklahoma. Don't go anywhere. The 1st and 10. We'll be right back.
You're watching the First and 10 on KT!
All right, what a night in Texoma. This is what high school football is all about. Several unbeaten still left, including those Ardmore Tigers. They are now 7-0 on the season, beating a team they haven't beaten since 2005. And like I said earlier in the show, that's when Cincinnati tight end Jermaine Gresham was running up and down the sidelines for them at Noble Stadium. So to see what they accomplished tonight is a huge deal. K-10's Jessica Morey got to see the whole game firsthand. She's live with the head coach of the victorious Tigers with more. Jessica.
Thanks, Chase. Well, what a win here for the Ardmore Tigers, 27-22 over the Lawton MacArthur Highlanders. I'm joined by Ardmore head coach Doug Wendell. Coach, you guys are 7-0. You just beat Lawton Mac for the first time since 2005. How does it feel to be in the position you're in right now?
I'm just so proud of our kids. They, especially our seniors that have been through the off-season programs, the rigor and stayed with it. So many of the seniors stepped up tonight. Jared Hall did a phenomenal job at linebacker. Kiwi McGee had an awesome night. Cash Roberts comes in and gets a tremendous interception there, and just so many kids stepped up tonight. And our theme all year has been who's going to make a difference. And last year we were 8 points away from a district championship because we lost to this team by 8, and to be able to beat them by 4 tonight's a big deal for our football team.
And how great does it feel to get this game out of the way?
Well, we've been looking forward to this for a long time. I don't think that's not a secret to anybody, but to get the win, it's good.
Well, congratulations, Coach. The Ardmore Tigers are 7-0 for the first time since 2005 as they take down Lawton MacArthur 27-22. They will travel to Altus next Friday night for a very tough matchup down there. Reporting live in Ardmore, Jessica Morey, K-10 Sports.
So now the kids in the Sooner State can enjoy their fall break as they have the Friday off for the first time in a long time. Thursday night football, always a great time, but we still have plenty more action to get to before the weekend starts. Tomorrow night, the 116th edition of the Battle of the Axe. That's when Sherman and Denison will square off from Munson Stadium. It was the Yellow Jackets taking the contest a year ago after Sherman would hold on to the Axe for 3 straight seasons. We'll have that game and plenty more on a Texas edition of the First and 10. Be sure to tune in to K-10 News at 5 and 6, and then that First and 10 show at 10:17 for full coverage. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Y'all have a good one.